Beningo on a Saturday. A little, the great Jim Morrison, The Doors, Break On Through, the first song on the first Doors album. 888-808-1019. I'm here till 2 o'clock. Emmanuel Barbari will come your way. Of course, Paulie Rosenberg on the other side of the glass. This is the last time that I'll be doing the 10 to 1, 10 to 2, 10 to 12:30, whatever it is, slot. Starting next week, I'll be on from 5 to 9. And I'll be taking over for the great Richard Neer, and we wish him all the best. He's been an iconic voice in New York radio forever, going back to his days with WNEW. So he certainly will be missed. But I will be on from 5 to 9, and then Chris McMonagle, I guess he's on. What is he, 9 to 1? Rose, is that what he's on? Is that the deal? Right. So McMonagle will be on from 9 to 1. So the new setup. Coming up next Saturday. 888-808-1019. Ralph in Manhattan. My good buddy's on the fan. Hi, Ralph.
Joe, get that golf game ready. The series is over. Say goodbye. It's all over. You don't come back from a 2-0 deficit. It just doesn't happen. It's a rare occasion.
Well, they're better. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, Ralph. They're a better team. I mean, I hate to admit that, but they are, and they're a team that's beaten the Knicks now 6 of the last 7 times they played them in the playoffs and killed us in Game 7 at home last year. So they're a damn good team, the Pacers. Let's be honest about it.
Joe, they're 10 deep. The Knicks are 5 deep. Simply put, that's really about it.
Pretty much.
And Carlisle is actually putting on a clinic as opposed to Tiz because, he's a good. If they get swept, I'm not so sure about his future. I think you may see something surprising, and he may get canned. I'm not quite sure. I can't be sure on that. But something, Towns, DiVincenzo was my guy. The intensity that he brought, and I won't talk about Randall. Randall was a tough nut to even really even evaluate. But DiVincenzo brought an intensity. You tell me that this guy Towns, the addition of Towns, helped this team is going to help this team in the coming games? No way. He disappears. Yeah. Joe, you see him, and then you say, he's a hell of a scorer, but once in a while he just does a disappearing act, Joe.
Well, one thing, though, too, last night, I mean, I'm sorry. I know he wants Robinson on the floor for defense, Thibodeau, but you got to have Towns on the floor in the fourth quarter. I got to see Towns and Brunson got to play the fourth quarter last night in the biggest game of the year, the game you have to win. You know what I mean, bro? It's not a game in February.
No doubt about it. His substitution is questionable. I like the guy, but I don't know what he's doing sometimes. But you got to think about the first thing that I said. They're 10, 11 deep. The Knicks are 5 or 6 deep, and that means a great deal.
No question.
And this new time slot of yours is interesting because Richard would give me carte blanche on that show. I used to talk exactly at 7 o'clock to him every morning. Now I'll be talking to you in the early morning. So
we look forward to it. It's going to be a nice thing. Bro. We look forward to it.
But let me tell you about thank you very much. Let me tell you about Soto quickly. I never, it's easy for me to say now, but I never cared for Soto that much. There was something about him that he wasn't aggressive enough. And he walks up to the plate these days, and he's the centerpiece of the offense, Joe. This is the guy you paid a king's ransom to. And he's looking for a walk. He actually wants a base on balls. He goes up there with the aggressiveness of, a little schoolgirl. He does not go up there wanting to drive in runs. You got to get up there, Joe. When everything's on your shoulders, they're paying you all this money, and the fans are on. Joe, he's actually playing umpire at the plate. If you see him, there's a pitch a half an inch outside. He doesn't get the call he wants. He turns to the umpire as if, I'm Juan Soto. How dare you call that a strike? It's just ridiculous what he's doing. You got to be aggressive, right?
Hey, look, those at-bats in Boston when he was taking pitches, he struck out on 3 straight pitches without swinging the bat. I mean, I'm with you, man. I think too he's not aggressive enough. I think he's too worried about walking. And I just look. I understand it's his first year with the Mets. I get it. We talked about this with Piazza, Lindor, Beltran, all that. Okay, but he just doesn't look happy here. I mean,
no doubt about it.
Am I crazy saying that, Ralph? I mean,
you know what I said, Joe? I said that to somebody else, and they laughed me out of the whole show. I said, I don't like the way, his body language is a little iffy. I don't care for for what he's doing there. And let me tell you something. Just the way somebody conducts themselves as they walk up to the plate, he's like a beaten man. He's like a guy that's not having any fun. Even though you're at the top of the game, you're making the best salary in the game, one of the best anyway. You still have to have this idea of fun to your game. You got to look like you're having a good time out there, the way Lindor, actually, a guy that I don't care for that much either, but at least he's having fun.
Well, Lindor's become an all-time great Met, though. I mean, he really has.
He has.
There's no disputing that. He really has.
But don't you think, Joe, and I appreciate the time, don't you think that, there's a certain way you hit the field, certain way you walk up to the plate, certain way you do things on a baseball field that kind of correlates with your success. I see this guy just really, he looks defeated before he even goes out there these days.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, we're waiting for him to carry the team. I mean, to me, the biggest culprit has been him. I mean, Alonso was hot. He's cooled down. Lindor's been hot and then cold a little bit. I mean, right now, their best hitter is who? Brett Beatty? Their best clutch hitter is Tyrone Taylor?
That guy's raking.
I know.
That guy's raking.
And
there's,
like,
there's one
Brooks
thing
Robinson at third, too. He's been making big plays in the field, too, Beatty.
I turned around and he made one play on his backhand. I said, man, this guy is actually can take it at third. I'll leave you with this. Now, say it takes him a full season to turn around. As did, and it could very well happen. And he could never turn around. He could turn out to be the biggest disappointment in the world, and we're all going to be shocked. But say it takes a full season, they're not going anywhere. Without him and him playing up to his potential, this season's done. This is the guy that we were counting on. Anyway, I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
If he does, and thanks for the call, Ralph. Look forward to talking to you in the early morning. Look, if he has the kind of season that Lindor had his first year or Beltran had his first year, they're not winning the World Series. I mean, I still think, look, they're still 9 games over 500. They're still a good team. He still is somebody that's a presence in a lineup that needs to be accounted for. But they're not winning a world championship without Soto being Soto. I mean, let's be honest about it. 888-808-1019, Cologne in Hawthorne. Cologne, how are you,